Okay, we're going to do one more example. This time B is on, so it's going to be not quite as much fun, but this one will have some solutions. So let's go ahead and, what's step one?
Take out C.
Well, we're going to add C to the other side. Perfect. So I've got x squared minus 7x. Leave yourself a space because you're going to add something in there. Okay, so now step 2 tells me to do?
Get half of B and square it.
So, in our case, what's B?
7.
Well, careful, it's -7, and I want half of that, so don't I do -7?
-3.5.
Well, we don't want to go decimal, though. -7
over 2.
over 2. And now, so there's half of it, and then I want to square it.
49 over 4.
Perfect. 49/4. That's the number I'm adding to both sides. I'm going to add 49/4 to both sides. Okay? So now, step 3 tells us to factor the trinomial. Jose, can you tell me what this factored trinomial would be?
What?
Well, remember, we're going to take the square root of x squared, so what's that?
X
Yeah. Same sign as this, so that's going to be a minus. And then what number is going to go over here?
would be 7 over 2.
Perfect. 7 over 2. You take the square root of that number. Remember, that's squared. Now, over on this side, I really do have to add 2 and 49/4. So let's just get some common denominators. Wouldn't that be 8 over 4 instead of 2 over 1, right?
Yeah.
So 8 over 4 plus 49/4 really gets us 57/4. No, you're right.
That's right.
You're good. Now what do we do? Square root both sides. Square root of u, square root of u. What do I have on the left-hand side?
Oh, well.
X minus 7 over 2.
Perfect. Over here, I don't know. Remember how to take the square root of a fraction? Don't you just take the square root of top and bottom separately? Okay. I don't know the square root of 57. So I'm going to do square root of 57 over 2, because I do know the square root of 4. So see how the square root is only over the 57 now? It's not over the whole thing anymore. And now, what would you do? Add 7/2 to both sides. Perfect, because I want to get x by itself. So I'm almost there. Watch how we write this. X equals, I'm going to put this number first. 7/2 plus and minus square root of 57 over 2. Oh. Now, the reason why this is so much easier to leave it all in fraction form, look, now these have common denominators. So if I wanted to turn square root of 57 into a decimal, I could. So let's just say that you wanted to do that. I'm happy if you leave your answers like this, but let's find the square root of 57. It's 7.5. Okay? So if you are going to finish this out and turn this into a decimal, you can write it as 7 over 2 plus and minus 7.5 over 2. Another way, since I have the same denominator, another way to write this is like this. 7 plus and minus 7.5 and the whole thing over 2.
Really?
As long as they have the same denominator, you can rewrite it that way. So now, let's just add along the top. I'd have 7 plus 7.5, that's 14.5, over 2 would get me 7.25, right? 14.5 over 2, 7.25. And then I'd also have, what's 7 minus 7.5? Negative 0.5. And what's negative 0.5 over 2? Yeah, negative 1/4. Since we're in decimals, we're just going to leave everything as decimals. So this particular parabola would cross the x-axis at these two locations. All right? In most situations, I'm fine with you leaving it like this. Okay? Yeah. If you had to graph it, though, you're going to have to turn it into decimals so you can find out where it's crossing.